Maybe the next one will be tougher. We have 2 more chambers to go, right? Oh, 1 more chamber to go. Yeah, now it's for the one that combines everything. Hopefully we'll find a star in there, because there's supposed to be... Oh, okay. I was gonna say, like, there's supposed to be 2 of them, right? Weird. There's 2 separate signs here. One has 2 symbols and a star, the other one has 2 symbols and a star. The suggestion there seems to be that these... Is this the one? That's the T-shaped one? That is the T-shaped one. The T-shaped one that has 3 symbols, right? Yeah, 3 and 4 symbols. The suggestion seems to be here that there's a star in between these 2 ones there's 1 star, and between those 2 ones there's 1 star, because there's 1 star on each sign, is what the suggestion seems to be. So, if that's true, when I go into this next place, there's not going to be a star then, and it means I have to backtrack to find the other star, if that's the case. But, well, that's just a theory for now. We'll see. I might just wander in here and find a star right away, so who knows. Oubliette. I have no idea what that word is, or what it means, or even if I pronounced it. Oh look, a platform's here. Goody. A play button and a platform, because that worked great for me last time. We have a block, which just seems to be hanging out there, so I can probably move that accordingly. Why are you... Someone must be getting in your way, right? It's that asshole. Okay. So, we have another bumper robot being in the way and being a general problem and causing me... Okay, I'm gonna stop that right now. There we go. Hearing that turn on and off was starting to annoy the shit out of me. Okay, you were creating a ruckus all the way in the overworld, you little prick. Okay. So obviously I want to open this door to succeed, but I need to somehow create a situation where I can get all the way over... I need to somehow get in a position where I can stop that guy, which means I probably need to put the block down in front of him to make him stop moving. But how do I get the block there? Well, I'll probably use this platform... This, let's see, can I jump that high? I think I can jump on top of this. So I need this platform and that play button. Okay. Is there anything up there? It's just a closed laser. How does closed laser work? Looks like you can stand on it. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and try hitting record. I think if I put this block here, I can probably jump on top of that with the platform, and then future me can jump on top of me. So, record, platform, standing, 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 waiting for future me, making things easy and cooperating with myself. Okay, and then hang out. And then I should have been able to jump up by now. So then I go ahead and I hit play. Let's see here. I grab my own box, because it's probably going to be necessary. I may have to make multiple trips. Oh, shit. I'm gonna go ahead and cancel this. There we go. So, I need an object that can press the button, right? So I'm probably going to need to take the platform with me, so I'm going to have to take 2 trips then. Okay, let's leave the stuff where I can grab it easily. Now, and then start the recording. Where's the platform? Standing. Standing. Shit, I fucked up everything. I fucked up everything. I'm so sorry. Alright, button. Stop. Alright. Start recording. Grab the platform, stand around. I forgot that I need to have the box in position, but I also need to move it, have it be in a position where I can pick it up. Alright, standing for a little while. Jump up. And then stand for a little while so I can place my object. Probably placing the platform. I'll grab the platform first for that purpose. Hopefully it works. Then go back, because I need to get picked back up. But now this time I'm going to be grabbing the box. And I'm giving myself enough time to be able to pick up these objects, hopefully. And then I can take the box in and block that guy, I think. Hopefully. You know. Hopes and dreams and shit like that. Then I jump back up. Okay, so step 1 is grab elevator platform. Step 2 is grab box. Hopefully I can figure this out. Okay, so. Elevator object. Mine. Jumping up. Okay, now carry me over. Carry me over, slave, who is going very slowly because I paused in case I need help. I always pause too much, but the moment I don't pause too much is probably when everything goes wrong. There we go. That's exactly what I was hoping would happen. Grab that box. I figured this one out pretty fast if this is the whole puzzle. We'll see, though. We will see. Man, if they have a star that involves the play button, they could really mess with me on this one. I could have some serious difficulties. You gonna head over soon? Wow, I really paused for a long time on this one. I do not have much confidence in future me. There we go. Hey, asshole. How's it going? Hang out over here for a while. Good boy. The end. Alright, we're all done with that. And now, if I need these objects again because I fucked up or something, here, I'll grab the platform and take it down with me. That way, I can get myself back up if I need to. Now I can connect the laser without annoying sounds happening where it keeps disconnecting every 3 seconds. Ta-da! Is that it? Or is that it in front of me? Or is that, yeah, that is it in front of me. Okay, oh, right. There's a button behind the door. It's a good thing I brought the platform down. They were ready to screw me on this exact topic. Okay, yeah, I brought the button back down. I got you guys. So I opened that gate, which means we no longer need to use this laser. We no longer need the blue laser to open the gate, which means we no longer need the box to be stuck up there, but we do need a red laser, it looks like, because I assume we're gonna have a star back here, right? Is there a star behind there? There's the star. So for the star, we need a red laser. And there's no red lasers in this entire puzzle, so I need to somehow get a red laser somewhere else. Someone mentioned that they saw a connector in a treetop once. I think they were talking about World A, but it could also be applicable here for all I know. The question is, how do I get... So I'm probably going to want to get that block back, right? Nah. I can't get the block back because there's ladders, so I'd have to restart, and restarting might not be possible. If I restart, I might lose my progress anyway, so... Wait a minute. If I carry myself over here, I can just jump over the fence. But then what do I do in there is the question. Oh, I could put it down that button and then that would open the door. The red laser is a distraction again. Okay. Okie dokie. Artichoke and shit like that, or whatever. Record, pick up button. 1, 2, 3. That's close enough. Okay. There's no low ceilings to scrape me off. Alright. Future me jumps over, and then they can use their platform to put it on that button, and then they're set. Okay. I got distracted. You always gotta be careful about them goddamn lasers. They're used to distract you. Because at some point they just put lasers by every door, unless there's a reason for them not to. And sometimes they're just distracting you, like, oh yeah, laser doors, remember those? It's like, JK, you can just do that. There we go. Just fuck you. Door's open now. That also opens this one. Alright, that's the entire... Okay, so my theory was wrong about those signs telling me where the stars are. The stars actually weren't hidden in particularly hard places. Wow! Did stars get easier, or did I get better at this game? Because both are possible. That's the thing about playing one of these games for the first time, is that you have to adapt to a completely new rule set, but over time you can become more and more familiar with the concepts involved. Like Portal seems like an easy puzzle game to me now, but when I first started it was mind-blowing. And that might be the thing here. So I'm blazing through all the stars so far in the third world, which is supposed to be the hardest of the 3, I assume. But, like, I had struggled with them before. I wonder if I go back to the old worlds, if I can just blaze through every star like they're comically easy now. That'd be good news for me, as someone who creates video content and doesn't want to have a bunch of... that doesn't want to record for 3 hours to create 10 minutes of footage of me figuring something out. There we have it, though. We have C4, so C1, 2, 3, and 4 are completely complete as far as puzzle pieces and stars go. Obviously, Easter eggs and other weird secrets could still be in there, but I'm feeling pretty proud of myself, and it looks like our friend Milton probably wants to talk to us. There you are. You kept me waiting. Oh, there you are. You kept me waiting. I finally put my finger on what was bothering me. It's as if the answers you're providing aren't your ideas at all, as if they're latent, prescribed, pre-scripted, and you're just going through the motions. Does that strike a chord at all? No, I don't think it does. Obviously, I'm influenced by outside forces when it comes to my own morality and ideas and stuff like that, but at the same time, it's more like I don't have a fully perfect way of thinking about everything that is completely immune to all forms of scrutiny, so it's more like I'm flawed because of me, you know? That's why it doesn't seem like my stuff makes sense to you. Also, you're difficult and keep making me change my answers to try to suit your annoying needs. Of course, you've only seen a fraction of the data I've archived over the generations. Still, ask yourself this. Why is it that everyone's so darn sure that 2 + 2 makes 4, yet they can't agree on what they are, what they're doing, or why? I mean, yeah, those problems are more complex than mathematics. See, here's the thing about math, is that math is a human-derived, I mean, it's an observation system based on the real world, but the mathematics itself is a human-derived system. We made up all the rules for it in the first place, so of course we can clearly explain what the outcomes are of things involved in it. Meanwhile, real life is our attempts to explain things that we don't have a hand in, things that exist outside of our comprehension. So it's not a fair comparison, and you're being difficult, Mr. Milton. Perhaps mathematics is real while those problems are imaginary? No. Mathematics has more objective truth. Yeah. Mathematics has, I'm going to say mathematics has more objective truth to it, and it's because of the reasons I've said that I can't articulate to the game, which is that we made up the rules for it, so of course we know the answers. What's the difference between having more objective truth and just being more real? Pose questions like, what should I do with myself, and what is the world really like, enough, and you'll start to assume they have answers. But what if the assumption turns out to be false? What if you're just a bunch of information processes? In that case, any attempt to answer the questions will be flawed. Garbage in, garbage out. Which is actually a pretty good point, which he's not necessarily arguing against anything that I've said, because I would probably just inherently agree with that. I'm one of those people that often says, like, yeah, life just kind of exists, and it's kind of an accident, and it's a happenstance, and we're happy. We lucked out here, and it's good to stick around. But you know, I don't believe in any sort of deities, for example. But same thing would apply here. We're AI in a computer program, and you'd want to think that it serves a purpose. You'd want to think that there's a reason for us to do all these puzzles and do all this stuff. And, you know, live life, as it's clearly designed to be a metaphor for real life here. Look at all your accomplishments you're doing. Clearly it's got to be for something, right? All these puzzle pieces you're doing, you're putting everything together. It feels like you're starting to understand why you're here, but then at the same time you're not understanding it at all. Like, this entire game is actually a pretty good metaphor for life in really concerning ways. And that's kind of what they're going for, I assume. And, garbage in, garbage out, yeah. It's entirely possible that since there's no one out there, mankind's supposed to be dead at this point, and they're hoping that this information would be left over for someone else to arrive upon. But what if there's no one else out there? Or there's also those theories of aliens where, like, well, if they did show up, wouldn't they wipe us out? Just like the Pilgrims did to the Native Americans, is what was said by Stephen Hawking, and then other people make up concepts like, well, it could be that they just, like, a lot of sci-fi deals with the idea of, like, what if they just saw us and chose not to interact with us? That's the sort of the Mass Effect theory, like, these people aren't civilized enough or at a certain level of society, so we don't bother with them. It's also the Star Trek concept. It's the Prime Directive. So what if what if no one's going to come down here to deal with this stuff because we're people who, we're a society that's being ignored until we reach a certain level of space travel, for example, because they want to see us develop properly, and our death was just a natural conclusion that a lot of societies have, and they just allow that to happen. There's also the theory that a more real-life, non-science fiction theory is the concept that there are so few planets that could possibly support life, and the universe is so impossibly massive that if life exists out there in the universe, it might be impossible for us to contact each other and to ever interact directly. So there could be isolated pockets of life on little different planets, and some people could expand to multiple planets, and that's incredible. Good job, society. That whole solar system's yours, or those handfuls of solar systems are yours. But the distance between you and every other society in the universe is so far away that you could never reach each other, and it's just impossible. You could start flying to someone right now as fast as possible, and their entire society and yours would both die before you reach them. And if you somehow had generations of people survive the trip, there'd be no one left. That kind of crazy shit. But that was a huge tangent, but I love a lot of the concepts being played within this game, and I'm a science fiction jackass, so I get into some of the stuff. I need to remind myself, okay, so what is the difference between having a more objective truth and just being more real? Pose questions like, what should I do with myself, and what is the world really like? And you start to assume they have answers, which is a great point, because so many questions don't have answers, and we inherently think they do in a broken sort of process. But what if that assumption turns out to be false? What if you're just a bunch of information processes? In that case, any attempt to hear the questions will be flawed. Answer the questions will be flawed. I mean, yeah, that's a great point. You keep nailing me down with questions, and I try to answer them with in my own flawed way, and then you keep pressing them until they hit their extremes, and we realize that they don't stand up to reason, not uniformly. And that's because maybe these questions don't have answers, and maybe your entire premise of asking me in the first place is a mistake. Let's see, perhaps the flaw is in your reasoning instead. Perhaps you're right, I have made some dangerous presumptions. Why does the answer have to be... Why does the answer have to be in the form of saying who is flawed here? I mean, I'm only attempting to answer questions, and he's only attempting to ask them, so really the entire premise is flawed, is what I want to say, not pointed at me or him. That's kind of frustrating. I think I'll blame it on me just to placate him a bit, because if otherwise this guy might... that one AI, the post on the wall suggests that you can scare him away, and I kind of want to keep talking to him, so I'm gonna blame this on me, just to see if that keeps him around. I'm so pleased you recognize that. None of the answers make sense, that much is clear. One explanation could be unreliable data input. The other is that there's a flaw in our logic. Perhaps we're just machines endlessly trying to calculate the final digit in pi. Which is pretty accurate. Our mathematical system has difficulty defining pi because it's one of those irrational numbers that goes on forever. And similarly, when you're trying to measure real life, the more specific you get, the more impossible it seems to get a specific answer. So you're trying to say these black and white grand proclamations of what's right and what's wrong and morality and the value of life, but what if the closer you get, the further you get away? What if the more you know, the more you realize what you don't know? Which is one of my favorite concepts ever. You can't use reasoning to conclude what that reasoning itself is flawed. It doesn't seem that there is much that there is much that is beyond our understanding. Let's see. That's a great argument. You can't use reasoning to conclude that reasoning itself is flawed. That's a great point. It's like it's a self-defeating premise. That's why we're stuck. Fine, but can we still use it to conclude everything else is flawed, can't we? Yeah, basically. Skepticism and self-interest are only part of the picture. You're right, self-interest is all we have, the rest is fairy tales. Huh. I'm gonna say, you're right, self-interest is all we have, the rest is fairy tales. I don't have a lot to say about that one, it's just, I'm kind of making a call. You spent half our time reeling off greatest hits of idiot ideas, now you're telling me to retract all of that and agree with me? Hold your horses, I haven't given up on everything, or talking it through has shown me that the big questions have no answers. Absolutely. No clear answers anyway. No definite, this is the one thing all the time, no exceptions answers. That's not a thing. You can't do that. And I could have told you that from the beginning, you son of a bitch. You just didn't give me the option. Part of me wants to never speak with you again. Part of me wants to think you've actually been paying attention. Just to confirm, everything here may be illusory, so there is no way to live with purpose or discover the truth. Is this your position now? Well, I've always known this place was fake. I don't know. Let's see, it is, or no, I just wanted to see how you'd react. No, it is. I have said some stupid things, but you have opened my eyes. That's not necessarily what I thought I was gonna say. I didn't want to say I'm stupid, but you opened my eyes. It's just I always knew that the truth resists simplicity and things like that, and that everything's more complicated than any common sense answer can ever explain. But I just got mass affected. I wanted to say I am, but instead it's like, here's more implications you didn't mean to say, because you gave me a short version of the answer, and then my character says something way longer. That's been happening to me all the time in my Dragon Age Inquisition playthrough, where my character says the weirdest things, where I'm like, oh, that's not what I meant. Welp. Anyway, I have said some stupid things, but you have opened my eyes. Very well, I will take you at your word, but don't betray my faith in you, for it is in no way blind. Cheat me and there will be repercussions, but if you have really seen the big nothingness, the void of truth, then there is much we could achieve together. I will notify you when I'm ready to discuss this further. Ooh. I believe I may be siding with Milton, which I've been calling the Serpent, and going against Elohim. If that's the case, I wonder why Elohim's not saying anything at all. It might even support my previous theory that where I kind of feel like Elohim and Milton might be just two sides of the same person, although arguably we're all sides of the same thing because we're all one massive simulation. If we're all part of one big thing, then I guess it doesn't really matter. It's weird that we're arguing with each other when we're all part of one program, technically. So yeah, everything's completed in this zone. Gonna get ready to go to the next one, and I am proud of my progress.
I fear the serpent has poisoned your mind with his sinful thoughts. But you may still be forgiven, my child. You may still unlock the gate of eternity if you seek the sigils.
I don't think that Elohim is entirely happy with me. And it's a little questionable because we've had issues before where it's like, oh, there's a like what I'm doing right now could be a reason for him to basically smite me because we've seen terminated characters in the past, and who knows if that's going to be what happens here. But I find the serpent more compelling than the god character in this particular storyline, just because of the fact that at least the serpent is using reason and going through great lengths to try to explain things, while the god character is just like, have faith in me because I have a tower and shit, I guess. Love me and things. That's not a very compelling argument. Also, I'm paraphrasing, which makes it even less of a compelling argument because I'm cheating, but whatever. So next up we're gonna have 5, 6, and 7. 6 is gonna be the short one. It only has 3 puzzle pieces, 3 sigils, 1 star. 5 has, oh my god, 4 sigils and 3 stars. So, our next little session's gonna be eventful. Thanks for watching like always, guys, and I'll see you next time.